is Mr. Fernando, and I am here with the Chicago Public Library Little Village branch. Have you ever wondered how the human hand works? What makes it possible for us to bend our fingers, grab things, or make a fist? Well, today we're going to work on an easy activity using materials you may already have at home. We are going to be making a robotic hand. So I'm going to present some of the materials that you'll need for this. You're going to need cardstock, any color cardstock. If you don't have cardstock, you could use things like an old cereal box or just something that's a little bit thicker. You don't want to use paper because then it won't work. You're going to need either string or yarn, or if you have thin ribbon, straws. If you have access to a thicker straw, like a smoothie straw, that would be helpful, but it's not necessary. Scissors, a pencil, and then you can use Scotch tape or masking tape. If you have access to a marker or a ruler, those will come in handy, but they're not necessary. I'll show you how to get around not working out this activity without using either of these. So now that you've gathered all the necessary items, let's get started. So we're gonna start by tracing our hand using a pencil and our cardstock paper. So a regular piece of cardstock paper, 8.5 by 11 should be fine. So you do wanna include part of your wrist. So you're going to use the pencil to draw your outline. And you want it to look something like this. Next, we're going to cut it up. I already have a cut part, so we're gonna use this other one. We're gonna place our hand back in there, and using our pencil, we are going to mark our joints. So where our fingers bend. We're gonna make a small line or dot to know where our joints are. And then we're gonna make a line using the dots or marks to mark out our joints. When you're done, it should look something like this. Next, we are going to cut our straws down and to tape them to the fingers, these are going to represent the bones. So if you have a ruler, you can just mark out using a marker. You can mark the pieces of straw that you're gonna cut. Usually a half inch piece would work, but that's really going to depend on the size of your hand. So if you don't have a ruler, what you can do is you can just use the template, your hand, as a guide to start cutting the pieces if you don't have a ruler. The only thing with that is you want to make sure that as you're cutting the pieces, that you keep each individual piece for each finger separate so that you don't get them mixed up, because you might have different sizes. Also very important is you want to make sure that your cut pieces are smaller than, or fit smaller than the space between the two joints. You don't want to make it the same size, because then your fingers won't be able to bend. So I already have some cut pieces, and we're going to start taping them to our fingers. You can use like a masking tape or Scotch tape. I'm just gonna use this masking tape. And you wanna make sure that it's nice and tight and that it goes all the way around. so that it doesn't move. If you need help taping them, you could always ask your mom or your dad or someone older, or if you don't, or if you're not comfortable using the scissors, have an adult help you. So you're going to repeat the same steps for the remainder of the fingers. So once you've taped all your fingers, it should look like something like this. The next thing you want to do is, using the joints, you want to crease them lightly, just so that it makes it easier to bend once we've threaded the yarn or string. So it's just a soft fold. Next, using the string, and again, so this is about 2 feet. If you don't have a ruler, the best way to do it is if you hold the string with your thumb and finger all the way to your elbow. That should be the perfect size for this activity. It could even be smaller, but that should be more than enough if you don't have a ruler and you can't measure 18 or 24 inches. So we're gonna thread the yarn or string, whatever you have accessible, through the pieces of straw. I'm gonna pull it and leave about a half an inch. Then, using a piece of tape, you are going to fold it back, and make sure that you secure it properly and it's nice and tight so that it doesn't come off. You are going to follow the same steps for each individual finger. Once you're done threading all the yarn or string, this is what it should look like. This is the back that shows how the strings are taped to the fingers. The next step is we're going to attach the last piece of straw. So I am using a thicker piece of straw, a smoothie straw, because it'll just be easier to thread all of these through there. If you don't have it, you can use just the regular size straw. It'll just might be a little bit harder. You might need some adult help. So I'm gonna first tape the piece of straw, and this is gonna go in the wrist area, like right below your palm. I'm using 2 pieces of tape to make sure it's nice and secure. I'm just gonna grab all the threads, kind of twist them around to make it easier to get them in there. And now that they're all in, we can test them out and observe. So before we talk about what is going on, how the human hand works, I just want to briefly mention the books I use for this activity. Give Me a Hand by Melissa Stewart, Human Body by Linda Calabresi. Both of these books will show you or teach you more about how the human body works, the hand. Robotics and Engineering by Rebecca Stronger, and Robots by Clive Gifford will teach you about how we use robots in society and how they help us in our daily task. So what is going on? The human hand has 27 bones and over 30 muscles. We have the metacarpals, which are the 5 long bones in the palm of our hands. Those are not represented here. This is just a simple version of the hand. Next, we have the phalanges, which are the 3 bones in each of our fingers. Our thumb just has 2. We have flexors, or tendons, which are the muscles that are in the back of our hand. And if you bend or fold your fingers, you can feel them in the back of your hand. We also have the thenar muscles, which are right by the thumb, and the hypothenar muscles, which are below your small finger, your pinky finger. Those muscles help us make a fist or grab objects. Scientists have used this information to design and create robots that help us with daily tasks and chores that are either too boring, too difficult, or too dangerous for us humans to do. So what are some other ways you can make a robotic hand? Can you think of other materials or ways to improve this design? Thank you for watching, and I hope you join us next time for more STEAM activities and crafts. Goodbye.